NEMCtv6. My name is Terry Kozlarich, and you're watching the Focus program. I'm here today with Greg Ponke, the post commander from Merrick Potter 566 in Memphis, and Laura Snyder, historian.
Okay.
Welcome.
Thanks.
Thank you.
So, tell me a little bit about the Merrick Potter Post.
Oh, we've been chartered since 1947. We have about 50 members. We help out all the local veterans in town and around. And it's a meeting place for brothers and sisters that were in the service. Want to come, talk to each other, hang out a little bit. And the post we have our own service officer. If somebody has a problem with the VA, his name is Mickey Sharp. He lives in Memphis, and he's a disabled Vietnam vet. He knows all the ins and outs, all the paperwork, and things like that. So if any vets are out there that want to apply for disability, or even if they don't have a disability, they want to know what their benefits are, come see us. We have a list of the complete benefits that you're entitled to.
Do the veterans find it very challenging getting through the system?
Yes, very much so. I retired from the Army in 2009, and I was lucky enough when I was getting out, I had a benefits officer help me fill out disability paperwork. But if you are not around a base and just getting out, you're away from the facilities, away from the help. The American Legion, their service officers are a huge help, because Mickey, he knows the system forwards and backwards. He'll help the people with any and every paperwork. He'll go down to the VA in Detroit with you. It's just a huge help having him around as our service officer.
Kind of somebody to stand next to you and kind of hold your hand through the process.
Yes,
and
very much so.
Does it help speed it up a little bit?
Yes, because Mickey knows the paperwork. He makes sure that it's filled out correctly, which is a big stumbling block. That's done and out of the way. Mickey is just a huge help. Even if someone doesn't have medical problems where they need to file for the disability, just filing and getting into the VA system now, in case they have problems down the road, is one of the big benefits of coming to see a service officer.
I see. And so what else I know that there's more that you guys do.
Oh, we do a ton of things. We do the poppies in the spring, take all that money. If there's a veteran in need, the name gets filtered up to us. We research it and help them out. All the money we take in goes out. We sponsor a softball team where we help out with the Boy Scouts, the local Cub Scouts. They use the hall. And who else uses it?
The NYBSO, the local softball and baseball youth leagues. We have a baseball field right there on our property, and they have complete use of it for practices, games, all of that.
I remember it well. Been there many times.
Yes, yes. And the mush ball from town, they come in and play. They use the field also. I would like to get back to the poppies, though. Every May, you'll see us out at the four corners of Main Street or up by M21 and M19. Mm-hmm. We are out there one weekend, or usually about 4 days a month in May. And all the funds that come in have to be used up that year. So by the next May, before we go back out, we have to give the funds out to needy veterans. It does not have to be, the soldier does not have to be a member of the American Legion to be eligible to receive poppy funds. And this helps medical situations, gas, if you've got to go to appointments and you're low on funds, if there's something around the house that needs to be fixed. We had a lady a couple years ago, her husband was deployed. The state was doing work on the gravel roads, was causing a bunch of dust to come up, and the children, the two young kids, had allergies. So it was worsening their allergy. So the American Legion got together with the local township, Riley Township, and we split the funds to help put a cover on the road that was being worked on to cut down, so it helped cut down on the dust. So it helped out with the children's allergies.
So how does a veteran ask for help from like the Poppy Fund? Do they apply? Do they call you?
Contact anyone, any of the members of the American Legion, and at the end we'll give you all the phone numbers and the email addresses, the Facebook page. You can message us. You can also go to the legion.org website, and it will give you information on your local legions.
I'm sure there's a lot of people in need. So
yes,
You're always looking for
It's
donations.
getting bigger and bigger, more
Yeah.
needy people. And
Yes. Yeah.
we have our own honor guard. People come up to us so they can have the wife or the husband can have a full military honors.
Right.
You know, we do a 21 gun salute.
For the funerals.
We have our own
Yes.
chaplain.
Mm-hmm.
We fold up the flag real nice and give it to the wife or the husband.
So those are all costs that you guys discover.
Right. Oh, yes.
Correct.
Yes. We're all volunteers. Any of the programs that the Legion participates in, it's all voluntary. We don't get paid for any of it. We're doing it for our fellow.
You're giving back.
Yeah, exactly. Our fellow brother and sister, as Greg calls them.
And so you're always looking for people who are willing to join or willing to help.
Yes, always.
And so tell me a little bit about your recruiting. How do they get to join the American Legion?
A lot of it is word of mouth. Getting out there and like this right here. Thank you so much. This is a great opportunity for us to get the word out there that people don't realize. They see the sign, but they don't realize what we do, how much we do help the community, how much we do for the veterans, how much we want to do. But a lot of times we need the bodies. We need the people to help. A big reason I joined the American Legion was I had been in the service 23 years. All of a sudden, I was away from the base. I was away from the people I was stationed with, my unit, and it was the camaraderie. These guys understood.
They know where you've been.
Exactly. Yep, they know where I was coming from. And you can sit down, have a beer with them, and swap stories. And
it's got to be, I guess, a little difficult coming from the military, very
yes, it is
organized life, and here you are back in civilian.
Yes, yeah.
And so it's kind of nice to have someone else to hang out who's been at the same place as you've been.
Right, and they understand our gripes. You know, it was really nice. The guys there. There's only a few females actually in our Legion post, so if there's any other females out there, we'd love to have them join.
It's always tough getting women to always join.
It
There's
is.
just not as many.
It's
more,
But once they join, they love it. Their family, take care of each other.
Yeah.
And
we mess with each other just the same.
yeah. It's enjoyable.
Well, and I'm sure that you have like whole families that join, right? I mean,
Yes.
If a father or a mother joins, I'm sure the family kind of comes along for the different events.
They do. They help out with volunteers. The desserts we had at the chicken dinner the other day, those were all donated by families.
Right? Because the military, like you said, is camaraderie, and just because you get out doesn't mean it ends, right?
It's so true. Very true.
So it's nice to have that support.
It is.
Well, okay, thank you. We're going to take a break here, and we'll be right back.
The American Legion. We're a powerful force for the nation. We're the largest veteran service organization in the nation, with 2.5 million members. And when you add to that the American Legion Auxiliary and the Sons of the American Legion, we have a family of 4 million members, working hard every day for our veterans, our youth, and our communities. Go to legion.org to find out more about the American Legion's commitment of service to America.
Welcome back to the Focus program, NEMCtv6. I'm here with Laura and Greg from the American Legion, Merrick Potter Post 566 in Memphis. Welcome back.
Thank you.
So we talked a little bit about what you guys do locally, and I'd like to hear a little bit more. We were talking earlier about what you do at the state level.
Michigan State has a lot of programs for students. One of the big programs is the Student Trooper. It's a week-long course. Actually, there's 2 of them they have every summer, and it's for high schoolers who have an interest in law enforcement, and they go through some training with state troopers for a week during one of the programs.
Okay, so they go to Lansing?
Yes.
And
yes.
They stay there?
They stay there. They live in like dorms, barracks, right, that kind of environment. They'll do a lot of the physical training. They'll learn how to handle suspects, stuff like that. But the Student Trooper program is, once I first learned about it, I think it's a great opportunity for kids who do it while you're in high school and see if it's something you really want to pursue later on.
Yeah, kind of like an orientation.
Yes, very much so.
Try it out and see if you like it. And I'm sure there's much more that you do.
Right. There's a program, it's called the Boys State and Girls State, and this is where high schoolers, a post will sponsor a student, and these students go to Lansing, to the Capitol building, for a week each. And there's 2 different programs. The boys go 1 week, the girls go another. And they serve as congressmen, House of Representatives. They produce laws. They write up bills. They vote, stuff like that. They learn how the state government is actually ran.
So they learn the legislative process.
Very much so, yes.
Okay.
Yes.
And how does somebody go about getting one of their children into this?
The best way to learn about these programs, there are specific deadlines. Like all the programs that were going on this summer, the deadlines were in May for 2016 for the applications and the sponsorship. So the best thing to do is go to www.legion.org. Okay. It's not .com or .gov, it's .org, O-R-G. And all the different programs that we've talked about today and we'll be talking about, all of those, you can pull up the applications there. You can find out about the different posts around you, stuff like that.
Okay. And I also heard that you guys are working with the Eagle Scouts. Is that true?
Yes. The Eagle Scout program is any young man who goes through the Boy Scouts and becomes an Eagle Scout, they can actually fill out an application also and apply for the Eagle Scout of the Year program within the American Legion. They'll compete at state level. Once a scout wins at state level, they'll go on to a national level, and there's scholarships that they can receive that way, just being an Eagle Scout. Another program, the Legion baseball team. Again, local students form a baseball team. A post sponsors that team, and they play at state and go on to national. Again, there's so much stuff that it happens locally that can take you national. And our national headquarters is actually in Indianapolis. It's not Washington, D.C. or anything like that. It's pretty local.
And so how many children do you generally sponsor every year?
Memphis hasn't sponsored any. I've been a member at the post there for about 8 years, and we have not sponsored any. I put out the information. I work really close with Debbie Roshak at the Memphis High School. Her husband is actually National Guard.
Okay.
So he's prior service. He's a veteran. So I take a lot of info to her for the students. It gets put out through the history classes, through Debbie herself, because she's the student, gosh, I can't think of what to call her. Student advocacy, in a sense. So a lot of the information just goes straight to her and is able to disseminate it.
Okay, so you're looking to get this information out there. I'm sure you'd like to sponsor a student.
Exactly, we'd love
and
to.
get someone involved.
Right, and it's not just Memphis school students that can do this. It's Armada School, Richmond schools, any school. The students can do these programs.
It'd be a great opportunity for a student. I'd never heard of it before, so it's kind of nice that we're getting that information out there.
If you get some students who are really patriotic, the Legion also sponsors what's called the oratorical contest, where they write a speech, again, participate statewide, and then go on to national. In the oratorical contest, the national winner can receive a $10,000 scholarship to go on to college. Mr. Ponke's oldest daughter, she had filled out paperwork and submitted for a $500 scholarship through the Legion Auxiliary, which is the women's side of it. And she did a lot of volunteer work. Didn't she have to write an article or an essay or something?
Yes, she did. Yeah.
She wrote an essay, submitted it to state, and she received it. That is out there. It's the student taking volunteer hours. I think it was 10 or 15 hours she had to do.
You have to show some community service,
Right.
community involvement.
Some initiative.
Exactly.
Show that you're out there and wanting to be involved.
Exactly. And it can be used at any, state school, anything like that. Very much so. There was a new scholarship I read about this last spring, back in April, May time period. We get a monthly newspaper for the Legionnaire, and we get a lot of info out of this. For dependents of veterans who have at least a 50% disability, those children are eligible for scholarships also. And all these scholarships are grants. They're not loans that have to be paid back. They're
And it's something that's granted to each post?
No, these are, there's like hundreds of them for the state. It's a lot of these scholarships, the students just have to fill out the paperwork. As long as they're eligible, they're going to get it. They fill out all the paperwork and the requirements, and they're going to receive them.
I'm glad that we're having a little bit of an opportunity to get the word out there.
Yes.
You know, maybe we'll get a few more students in
They got to
the
take the
local
first
area.
step. A lot of them, they don't know about it.
Yeah.
Right,
know,
right. Well, this will be a
and,
good way to get that information out there.
The money's there. You have to make yourself apply yourself.
Right,
So, if you're looking for some college education funds, the American Legion is the way to go.
right. The Legion.org website, one of their links is literally list of scholarships.
Okay.
And these parents and grandparents, the children can use grandparents as the veteran that they're applying for the scholarship
As long as a parent or a grandparent had time in the service.
Yes, ma'am.
And it doesn't matter which service.
Which branch? Nope.
Does not matter which branch of the
No.
service. So they just need to go online.
Yep.
Do they get help from the Legion Post?
We can help them with any paperwork they need because a couple of the scholarships, like the one that his daughter did, it needed the auxiliary commander's signature. So we're right there.
You're right there.
They can
and you're
sign it.
local, and
Yeah.
we'll provide the phone numbers at the end for anybody who's interested.
Yeah.
Great. A lot of good information. We're going to take a break, and we will be right back.
As we recognize the service of America's men and women in uniform, let's also honor the families who sacrifice so much every day. As the service member serves, so does the family. Do you really want to honor a veteran? Look for ways to support their families and thank them for their sacrifices. Go to legion.org/honor-veterans to find out how you can help.
Welcome back to NEMCtv6 Focus Program with the Merrick Potter Legion 566 with Greg and Laura. Welcome back.
Thank you.
So now we're getting into our last segment here. Give me a little bit more information about what you're doing locally and about that nice piece of equipment sitting out in front there.
Well, I've been commander for about 6 years, and I've been at Post 104 in Mount Clemens. They got a 104 Phantom fighter out there. Burrville has an M60 tank, and Kingston had 3 vehicles, and Croswell has a helicopter, a Huey. So I was at a meeting one time. I've always wanted a vehicle up front. So I asked the guys and the ladies, would you like a vehicle out front? And they said yes. I said, okay. I started the ball rolling, and it was complicated. I had to call the Department of Defense. I called the Army. I called American Legion headquarters. I called around everywhere you can think of. And they would say, call this person. I'd call that person. I'd say, call this person. So we finally got a hold of Rebecca from the U.S. Army Tank Automotive Command in Warren. I used to work there, so I kind of knew her.
Oh, take them.
Yes. And I asked her if we could get a Ted, our post adjutant, wanted a Huey. So I asked if we could get that, because he was a crew chief in Vietnam.
Because all the other kids had one, you wanted one, right?
That was Ted's favorite. And the Army doesn't issue airplanes or helicopters anymore, just ground vehicles.
Okay.
And before you could just get one. But now, any post can't get one unless a post deactivates. So we had to wait 3 years. And I called this woman 3-4 times a year just to let her know, Memphis, we're still here. We want a vehicle. And one day I got a phone call that Kingston was deactivating, and they had a vehicle. I said, awesome, we'll fill out some paperwork. We had the guys from the Legion poured a nice pad, and we had a transportation problem.
Yeah, exactly. How do you get one of those things in your front yard?
That's expensive. They wanted
Imagine.
$3,000. I called 3-4 different companies. They wanted $3,000 to transport it. Ted called up Dave Foster from Foster Oil, and he went up there and brought it back for 0 charge.
Yay, that's the way to go.
And I asked him, I said, Dave, what do we owe you? And he goes, nothing. He says, I just want to thank you and your members for your service to your country. I said, that's outstanding. A nice guy doing that for us.
That's nice.
And all the guys and ladies at the post love it. Now we look like a real post.
Yeah, it kind of makes you
And,
stand out when you see something like that. When you drive by, it makes you take a second look, doesn't it?
Yeah, feels like an old post. Feel like you're at home.
Mhm. Yeah,
Laura?
it does.
I like
does.
it. The Bill,
It's nice.
Bill,
Yeah,
everybody gets together with it, and it came out really nice.
taking some pictures and things.
Yes.
Oh yeah, we're gonna take a nice picture of it, put it in the Michigan Legionnaire magazine.
There you go.
We got a nice group photo of all the members. I'm gonna send that in here, and
Print yourself out a copy and get it framed and hang
Yeah.
it in the hall, eh?
it's
Oh,
gonna
yeah.
be really nice.
Yeah. That'd be nice.
A lot of people hear about it and talk about where we got it from and stuff like that. So the post is on a roll. We got about 50 members. Get new members all the time.
I see you've always got things listed out on the front on your sign out there. Why don't you tell me about some of the things that are going on like throughout the weeks and the months?
Every Wednesday is bingo night. Excuse me. Bingo starts at 6:30. The first and third Friday of the month is euchre. Euchre starts at 7. Get there early, and meals are served, concessions are served during both of those items. The second Sunday of the month is breakfast from 8 to noon. It is an all-you-can-eat buffet. I'm sorry. We also have the baseball team, the softball field back there. The youth come out and use that. If your family wants to come out and just throw the ball around, you can do that there around the post.
Open to everyone, right?
Yes, it is. It's open to everyone. We use of the facilities. We've got the hall rental. Everything from baby showers to weddings. You can use the facility possibly after a funeral. If it's for a veteran, it's either no charge or just a minimal charge. Nonprofit organizations, we've got the athletic boosters have come over and put on programs at the hall for their fundraisers. The music boosters came and used it. The Cub Scouts do a breakfast with Santa in December once a year. They also hold in January, they have their Pinewood Derby.
It's not just
And-
for veterans, it's more of a community gathering place.
It is. It
is
really
a nice
is.
hall inside.
Right. We've got use of the kitchen. We've got coolers they can use. We've got beer taps, especially for like the wedding type of activities. They serve alcohol, items like that. It's just we try and be involved. Like during Memphis Festival, we had a chicken dinner. We do it every Friday during festival. We just had it last weekend, of course. This is like our 15th year on doing the chicken
They're
dinner.
huge pieces of chicken, aren't
Yes,
they?
yes,
They're huge.
very good food.
Yeah.
Very good food. Sundays we had last Sunday we just had our breakfast. We make sure it coincides with festival. It's a great place. There's a lot there available in that facility. The size and everything.
I think I saw some craft show things up there too, didn't I?
Yes, we started about 2 years ago. Excuse me, actually this would be our third fall craft show. So we have a fall and a spring craft show. It'll be coming up October 29th. It's a Saturday.
Okay, so you rent out tables and
Yes, we rent out tables, and it's handcrafted vendors only. So that way we can get back to the people, get back to what they do.
no
And
baubles, kind of homemade things.
yes, everything's homemade, handmade, right.
It's really nice.
I'd like to add, if you're an active member of the post, you get to use the hall for free.
Yep.
And
That can come in handy if you got kids or grandkids looking for graduation
Yep.
parties or weddings. or
Exactly. Yep,
anything.
that's what Mr. Ponky did. He had his open house for his daughter at the post.
Yep.
So yeah, it helps out tremendously.
Well, it's been really nice having you guys here.
Mhm.
And we're going to put all the information up at the end.
Appreciate it.
And thank you. I hope everybody contacts you for especially the scholarships. That's a really nice thing that you guys offer.
It's with everything getting so expensive, why not look for alternate ways to help cover the cost?
Any kind of help,
Right.
any little bit helps.
It does. It really does.
I'd like to thank Ted from the post for coming to you and setting this up.
We really enjoyed having you. There's a lot of information, a lot of things I didn't know about the scholarships. As a parent and a grandparent, it's a wonderful thing to know and to pass along. So if you guys hear it, pass along the information. All right. Thank you for watching. I'm Terry Kozlarich from NEMCtv6.